Greetings. This is Universal Jones from the CodeConnection.org. The CodeConnection.org is a catalyst of constructive information. We are aiming to make it easy for you to find live constructive programming, find constructive programs that are going on in your area, and a platform for you to share constructive content. So if you're someone who's seeking more information on how to implement code, come to the CodeConnection.org. Also, if you're a person who's seeking a platform to share your attempts at producing justice, the CodeConnection.org is a place for you. So, go to the site, sign up for the newsletter, join the forum. Don't be a spectator, get engaged. The CodeConnection.org, the CodeConnection.org, the CodeConnection.org. It has been time.
Like, I have no clue what three stripes on Adidas stands for. I don't know. And as we talk about, just different symbols, for instance, when we look at the South Carolina shooter, his name escapes me right now, Daryl something. One of the most notable pictures that he had the jacket with the Rhodesia flag and something else on it, right? And this is a younger white person, early 20s, and we don't know how old he was when he took those pictures. So he could have been even younger, but he understood the importance of symbolism just in that. Mm-hmm. And so symbols are important, and symbols are extremely important. And a lot of times we don't understand symbolism, and a lot of that is due to our conditioning. One thing that I do, here in Minnesota, and I'm increasingly producing content online, is talking about the trauma that Black people have faced in America. It's global trauma, but just here in the United States, our trauma is, I think, significant compared to others. Mm-hmm. And our traumatic conditioning, we have a different relationship with symbols and brands and business and all these things. We see them as status, quote-unquote, symbols, right? But white people see them as meaning. Like, these things mean something to me. They're making statements. We're seeking status. And that's the danger, right? That's the danger. So, most Black people that I know, we love high designer brand stuff. Most Black people that I know. So we want the Gucci bag, we want the Louis Vuitton, this and that, the belt. We want that. We want the Cadillac. We want the biggest and baddest symbols. But we don't understand what half of those logos or those brands really mean. And me included in that. I don't know what some of this stuff. But I think that our relationship to brands and symbolism is different than our competition. Mm-hmm. And they know that. And that's why, a great example of this, because I fell victim to this trap before I even learned about counter-racism, is when we talk about Illuminati, or when we talk about conspiracy theories, which is all about symbolism, most of it coming out of the continent of Africa, right? But when we talk about it as, oh, this person's worshiping the quote-unquote the devil, right? Yeah. So we go about it a whole nother way, and literally you can go on YouTube at this very moment and just type in conspiracy and get a whole bunch of quote-unquote devil worship stuff. But the people who are actually utilizing this information are utilizing it in a different manner than what we are trying to understand it as. And granted, some of it may be true, some of it may be not, but the reason why they're utilizing it is to benefit them, where we're just looking at it as, oh, I know some knowledge. I'm going to kick some knowledge, so now I feel important, so it gets back to that status piece. So symbols are extremely important. But it only is significant depending on how much we understand of the symbols and what the purpose of them are. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that in my view, that whole Illuminati thing has been a very big distraction for Black people. I know somebody that I've known for a while. He's been distracted by it for a minute. so I have to hear about it every once in a while. But I just ask questions, and usually the questions are, well, who's head of the record company? Who is this? Who's handling distribution? Where does this come from? And that's where I try to narrow that down to maybe try to spark something later on within the brain there.
Yeah. And I think that information has been strategically put out there as a distraction as well, by white people, because stuff gets flagged and taken off. We'll just use YouTube because I know a lot of black people love YouTube. YouTube's awesome. But a lot of stuff gets flagged and taken off YouTube. But that stuff is all over YouTube. Like, it's all over the place, and we eat it up. And it is a distraction. And I was distracted by that stuff for about 9 years of my life. Majority of my 20s, early teenage years to my 20s. I learned about that stuff going into college. Me and my black roommate, my best friend, at this, and he's the one who introduced me to Alex Jones. And we were listening to damn Alex Jones every day. Like, it was pretty bad. And it got to the point where, the racism just started to become so evident, and I had to look at, like, man, is this even helpful? Like, I've been doing this stuff, I've been listening to this person for so long, and I just think I'm more confused. As much as I thought I wasn't confused, I think I just got more confused about the information that he was sharing. And I think this is what happens. And then when you listen to someone like Mr. Fuller, and he's just breaking down straight concrete logic, it really takes you out of that, quote unquote, the matrix of your thought process. It really just gets you to understand, like, a lot of the things that we are being, bombarded with as far as information, whether this is alternative news or mainstream media or whatever term we want to use, a lot of it is distraction. And that's where we are today. And I think social media has just added another element to that. And I'm not saying that's a bad social media, because social media, I think, is definitely a constructive tool. However, it depends on, once again, just like the symbols, what is our purpose of understanding and utilizing that medium. So yeah, and that actually goes into why me and a couple of other folks wanted to create the Code Connection, is to provide another place for people to get some constructive information and to keep moving forward. And we have several different kind of concepts and ideas on how we want to move forward with this. But we want a separate, entity kind of online, a separate piece of, online real estate to do these things. And we want people to really engage.